line it back up. It hasn't been lined up in a minute.
Hey guys, I'm Tadrina.
I'm Talia.
Welcome back to another episode of Teatails,
where we bring you today's Teatails for tomorrow's use.
We have a lot to discuss today.
A lot.
So, we're not even going to babble.
That's
We're not
it.
even going to dilly-dally. We're just going to jump right into it with some iced tea.
Yes. So quickly before we start, on the screen, before we talk about iced tea and hot tea, we'll give you like a little breakdown. So if you don't want to listen to everything, we hope you do. But if you don't, you care about one thing in life, just look at the bottom or on the side and you'll see a list of where you can find.
Yeah, we'll have some timestamps for you guys so you guys could know which stories we're talking about in each section. Thank you for that disclaimer, actually. That was a good announcement.
No problem.
All right, jumping into iced tea, we're going to be chatting about Brett Kavanaugh. This man.
What a time.
What a time to be alive. So basically, President Trump made a nomination. The nomination was this man, Brett Kavanaugh. The Republicans basically had this man in the bag to be voted into the Supreme Court.
It was almost a go.
It was there was no delay in this. Like, he was sure to be a shoo-in, and that was going to give them the majority that they needed in the Supreme Court. However,
huge comma. Actually put a period.
It's true. Put all of the punctuation that you have. Okay.
So
Christine Ford, she's a professor in the state of California. She came forward earlier this week and said, excuse me, that man Kavanaugh, he sexually assaulted me back in the 80s when we were in high school. He was not alone, and I have therapist notes to prove this. I know for a fact that he did this to me. It affected my entire life, and you guys need to look into this before you go any further into nominating this man to be a part of the Supreme Court. My man Kavanaugh said that he categorically and unequivocally had nothing to do with this. He did not do it. Denied the allegation. Of course he did.
So she didn't want to come out because she basically didn't want to get attacked or pestered or bothered, which is what's happening now.
Right.
And
because she had already reported it to a senator in California. Dianne Feinstein.
And
Democrat.
Not much was done about it, so then she went to the FBI, and that's why it's coming out now, basically, because the FBI, as they should not sweep this under the rug.
Absolutely.
And she was given, who was it? It wasn't the Supreme Court. Who gave her the timestamp?
The officials. I don't want to say the Supreme Court, but
the people who were interviewing Kavanaugh. Yeah, exactly. They gave her basically a deadline, 10 p.m. last night, which was September 21st, to respond. And if she didn't, then basically it wouldn't get, like, it's not a thing. So if she didn't come forward and speak about it and testify, then they would just push it away. It would be done, and he'd probably get elected as a Supreme Court official, which is insane. Yeah. So she missed her deadline, but I don't know, we were just notified that she did just agree to show up, which is great, to be honest. But the thing, there's a whole other side to it too, the controversy that's happening, because obviously Donald Trump would weigh in on the issue. Right. And
Donald Trump is actually pretty, like, obviously he's like, the delay is okay, as long as everything checks out to be all right. Yeah. He'd rather the delay than this,
turn out not in his favor, because this is his nomination. But the comment that really kind of sparked a lot of things, and now there's a movement why I didn't report, it's a hashtag on Twitter and on Instagram, is because he was basically saying, if this actually happened, why didn't you report it at the time? But he said, why didn't you report it to the FBI at the time? I'm sorry, when I was in high school, I didn't have the contact number for the FBI, and I couldn't Google the contact number for the FBI.
Or nobody was even thinking about...
I barely had a phone
exactly.
to call the FBI, so I don't know, but that was very interesting to me.
Thinking about reporting it to the FBI. You're thinking about the fact that you were just sexually assaulted. You're not thinking about calling the FBI.
But, that's just crazy to me.
It's just the world.
We're not going to talk about
It's the world we live in. But speaking of Trump and his drama, more drama on his end. Mr. Paul Manafort. The stress of this man, the stress.
So we haven't covered him before.
Yeah, there's a lot. I guess we should probably link a few articles below if you guys want to know more background information of this. But
the story we have
iceberg
today is that homie just decided to work with the people investigating him and charging him with everything. So basically, he agreed, he pled guilty to all the charges placed against him, and he is now going to provide information. The crazy thing, and I heard this on the news the other day, which made me think, this is the best situation that they're in now, because he literally legally is obligated to provide accurate and truthful full information. If he does not, he can be charged with obstruction of justice and perjury. And on top of that, they can rescind the offer that they're giving him. So he really has no choice, but I mean, he does have a choice. It'd be dumb for him not to oblige and to work with these people.
Yeah, exactly.
Which sucks.
It's scary though, because because for Trump, obviously, to stand by the side of his president, of his boss, he's going to kind of try and avoid answering these questions or being honest. But at the end of the day, when it comes to his life, like, he's taking that plea deal and he's cooperating now with the special counsel's Trump-Russia investigation. So I'm really interested to see what comes out now.
Because this has been the talk since Donald Trump was elected. Yeah. Russia has been in it's like Trump-Russia, you can't really separate the two.
There's not one without the other. It's true.
So we'll see how that goes. I think it'll be really interesting to see the information that comes out. We might not get it as quickly as we'd like to, but when it comes out in court and stuff, we'll find out and then we'll let you guys know.
Yeah, so exactly. There's gonna be some real tea coming out.
All right, so Dioceses, is that how you say it?
I don't know. I think it's Dioceses.
Dioceses.
If you are Catholic, please comment down below.
Yes, you can privately message us, send us a video, text us if you know us personally.
Something, phonetically spell it, please. Diocese, she says Dioceses, I don't know. But the Diocese of Brooklyn, yesterday, the church reached a huge settlement with 4 men who were sexually abused as children in the early 2000s. So obviously for the past few years, this year specifically, I feel like, there's been a lot of allegations against the Catholic Church when it comes to sexual abuse. Everybody is coming out and accusing priests of sexually assaulting them. It's like been a stigma now within the Catholic community for some time now. So this settlement in particular is a really big deal because these men are getting over $6 million in settlement funds,
which is crazy.
That's the biggest settlement ever to be awarded to victims of child sex abuse in the Catholic Church. So the New York has not been playing any games, especially since the Pennsylvania grand jury said that they have found over 300 priests had abused children in the area for decades. So the New York Attorney General has subpoenaed every single Catholic church in New York State and saying that they were launching an investigation into every single church to see if that was the case in their church. So these people from the Diocese of Brooklyn, they were not playing. They was gonna get their money, and they got their money. They got their $6 million, more than $6 million,
right here in Brooklyn.
Right here in Brooklyn. That's crazy. Wow,
insane. So more of Eastern states, Florence. If you guys are from the East Coast, I mean, if you're in the United States, you've definitely heard about Hurricane Florence.
Yeah.
It devastated the Carolinas. So there were approximately 38 to 40 inches of rain in total, which is crazy.
Yeah.
You guys know inches. That's probably half of me, I want to say. It's over 2 feet or just about 2 feet, right?
Right.
So I'm so wrong. That is very close to 4 feet. My sincere apologies. People were walking in waist deep water. A lot of houses, they had an evacuation protocol in place. They told everyone to leave. Not everyone can do that, unfortunately. Cars, houses, people's lives. I think there were about 37 people that died, I want to say.
I know it's like around
30, somewhere like that.
Yeah,
which is very sad. And
the numbers keeps increasing.
We in New York got the remnants. So all of East Coast kind of got the remnants of the storm. The eye of the storm, which is why it was so bad, stayed in the Carolinas for 2 weeks.
Right.
No, I'm so sorry. For 2 days, and it was heavy rain.
Yeah, pretty much throughout the week.
2 inches of rain per minute or something like that. I remember reading, but it was insane. So if you see the footage down there, it's very, very sad. A lot of people have set up donation funds and things like that.
Yeah, we'll link a few in the Carolinas.
Yeah,
but this is a Category 1. This was a Category 1 storm in the Californias. In the Carolinas. So this is a really big deal. People are losing their lives from storm-related incident. It's just crazy. So our hearts and prayers are with the people who have lost lives and who are struggling down in the Carolinas. Again, we'll have some links down below if you guys are interested in helping out.
The next story we have is Elon Musk. He has a project called SpaceX, and that project is actually going to be sending the first person,
tourist,
not first person, first tourist to the moon, which I thought was super interesting.
In 2023 he's supposed to be visiting.
That's right around the corner.
A few days of a trip, and this man that's visiting is a billionaire within himself. So this is just billionaire free time, okay?
That's different tax bracket type life.
Literally touring the moon, like whatever.
But this is the first step. I mean, think about it. They thought for a long time that this is where we would end up, that people would be casually traveling to the moon.
It's crazy.
That basically going, this is interplanetary travel. Like, this makes no sense to me. Okay, so the UNGA, that's the United Nations General Assembly.
Yes. Take it away.
Sandrina told me about this story.
They basically started meeting this week. So it's a assembly that occurs every fall, and obviously all the nations, the most popular nation leaders from across the globe, obviously, meet in New York City to discuss the hottest topics of the year. So this year's theme is making the United Nations relevant to all people. Talia and I were trying to figure out what that meant. I basically think that it means like United Nations more accessible to people, more relatable to people, more person to person, level interaction. Whereas I think now we kind of think of the United Nations as like it's outside,
kind of far off
type of So obviously they're gonna have a lot of hot topics being discussed there. I'm sure global warming, things like weapons of mass destruction, regular schmegular stuff that diplomats and whatever fancy posh people talk about. But Trump will be making his appearance at the UNGA next week. But people like Putin and other really controversial stars like Kim Jong-un and stuff, I don't believe are going to be attending this year. But Trump will be giving his message next week. So if he says anything interesting, we will be sure to update you guys and let you know. Well, sorry everyone, the camera died, the battery died, so that's the struggle.
Camera died. It'll be the end of Teatails. We ain't got no money. So we actually have North and South Korea. So North Korea and South Korea have never really been on the best of terms, but as of recently, they just came to an agreement to start dismantling, I guess the word would be, dismantling the nuclear weapons production and sites in North Korea.
Right.
And it's contingent kind of upon the United States. So the agreement is if they do it, the United States has to do it as well. So that should be very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, but we didn't talk to you guys about it, but perhaps you guys read on the news somewhere that Trump and Kim Jong-un did meet to kind of agree and shake hands on the fact that North Korea specifically would be working on, like Talia said, dismantling their whole nuclear weapons industry. But ever since that conversation happened, nothing really happened. Yeah, it kind of, no further steps were taken to kind of move them in the right direction. Yeah. So North Korea and South Korea, the president of South Korea did meet in order to officially, like with signatures and shaking of hands and everything, say that, we're going to go ahead and start getting rid of all these nuclear things, these nuclear practice sites and all of that fun stuff. And they did say that they would allow outside viewers to basically witness them doing this, so long as the United States would be taking similar efforts, similar steps.
I think that was honestly, to me, one of the most important parts because North Korea is very secretive and a lot of what they put out is really just propaganda to make it seem like everything's okay in the country. So being able to see it from an outside perspective is like proof that it's actually happening. You know?
I agree.
Instead of just saying it.
Instead of just saying it. Now you're having people that are actually holding you accountable and watching you do what you said. So by the way, I couldn't remember the name, but the president of South Korea is Moon Jae-in, Moon Jae-in. So they shook on the official deal, and Trump seems really excited about that. I don't know what it means for the United States side of nuclear weapons and dismantleization and all that fun stuff, but I'm interested to see. But I think that's gonna be it for today's episode.
Thanks guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate you and all the people that ask questions as always. Stay beautiful, stay prosperous,
checking us on it,
stay in the know,
I don't even know what I'm saying, girl. It's a long day. And guy.
All right guys.